Okay guys, welcome back. We are going to start hopefully some brief notes. It is a lot of graphing, okay? So bear with me as I try to use this iPad for the first time. We are in our Unit 2, Chapter 4 notes. This should say, because this is a mistake, let's see if I can get this to work right. This should say Part 1. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we are in Lesson 4.2 from your textbook, which is graphing linear equations. And we are going to go ahead and we are going to get started. Oh, you'd like to have a page number, I'm sure. We are on page number 48. Okay, circle that here, page 48. Okay, let's go ahead and look at graphing linear equations. Let me get my drawing tool back on. Let's go to red. Okay, we are talking about linear functions, okay? Linear function is an equation whose graph is a line, okay? The points on the line represent all the solutions, all the possible solutions to the linear equation, okay? The standard form of a linear equation is ax plus by equals c. This should be reviewed from last year, okay? Your a, okay, has to be a positive integer. And all of them, your a, your b, and your c, all have to be integers. They don't have to be positive, b and c don't, but they have to be integers. So no fractions, okay? That's what that means, no fractions. And then you guys, it's not written on here, but you guys should obviously remember that, let's see if I can get this to work here. We've got slope-intercept, okay? We talked about that yesterday. Y equals mx plus b, and the y in function form is f of x, okay? Which of the following are solutions to 3x minus y equals 7? Show your work in the space below and circle the correct answer. Okay, so on this one, all we are doing is plugging into the equation and looking to see if we get a true statement. So we've got, let's see if I can get this back here. We've got 3 times, what do we have here? X is 3, okay, minus y, which is 4, equals 7. You'll sometimes see I put a little question mark because that means I'm not sure yet if it does work. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 4 is going to be 5. And we know that 5 does not equal 7, so that is not going to be a solution. We're going to check each one here. We've got 3, because remember, this is x, this is my y. 3 times 1 minus a negative 4 equals 7. I have my question mark again. That's 3, and negative, double negative is a positive. And 7 does equal 7. So we know that this is a solution. Okay, let's keep going. We've got 3 times 5 minus 8 equals 7. 3 times 5 is 15 minus 8. And that's going to be what? 7 equals 7. So we got another solution here. That one works. And my last one, let's move that over a little bit. We've got 3 times negative 1 minus negative 2 equals 7. Okay, that's a negative 3. Double negative is plus 2. So we've got negative 1, and we know that does not equal 7. So our answers are B and C. Those would be our solutions, okay? Moving right along, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start graphing. We are on, let's see, example B below. Okay, and we have y equals 4x equals 1. When, and this is the new information that you probably didn't see from last year, it says when the domain is negative infinity to infinity. Okay, so that really means that we can select any numbers for our x value. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to convert this into, I can't graph it that way. It's not so nice, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to convert this into slope-intercept, okay? I am going to subtract 4x from both sides, and I get y equals, what is that? Negative 4x plus 1. Okay, I think that's going to be much easier to graph. Let's go ahead and let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see my screen here. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick some x and y values. I tend to always start with the number 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill those in. We've got a 0. We've got y equals negative 4 times 0 plus 1. We're left with y equals 1. So my first, I hope you guys recognize, I start with 0 because that is my y-intercept, okay? From there, I'm going to pick some more numbers. Let's go with, let's just pick 2, maybe, okay? Y equals negative 4 times 2 plus 1. I'm going to get y equals negative 7. So my second point is 2 comma negative 7. Okay, and from there, you can really pick anything. I actually kind of wish I would have picked a negative number. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick negative 1, okay? Now, on my table of values, I don't know if Mr. Robert was a stickler about this. I kind of am. I like them to be in ascending order, meaning from smallest to greatest. I don't expect you to rewrite this. I just draw a little arrow to show that negative 1 would have come first. Okay, we got y equals negative 4 times negative 1 plus 1. We've got 4 plus 1, and that's going to equal 5. So my last point is negative 1 comma 5, okay? And you're going to go ahead and we're going to graph it over here. Let's see, I haven't graphed on this iPad yet, so we'll see how that goes down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. You always need to draw in, and I hope you guys, like I said on your homework, looked at your graphing rules. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we are going to draw in an x and y axes, the x and y axes. So let's do that. Oopsie, you know what? Let's make this easier. Let's do a shape. Okay, we're going to insert our line here. Okay, so there's my, oopsie, there is my y-axis. Okay, you're going to make sure that you add your arrows to both sides. Okay, and we're going to label that the y-axis. We're going to draw in our x-axis. Let's put it about here. Okay. Put in our arrows, and we're going to label it x, okay? I always put what my scale is, and we're going to go up by 1 and over, I should have said over by 1, up by 1, okay? And now we're going to go ahead and let's see how this goes. We're going to plot our points. Our first point is 0, 1, so that's going to be right here. Okay, my second point is going to be 2, negative 7 over 2 down 7. So we're right here. And my last point is negative 1, 5. To the left 1, up 5. And right here, okay? So if I did that correctly, those should line up nicely. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw in and connect my points. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what happens here when I... Did I do something wrong? That's not working. Let's see. No, I just didn't draw a straight line, right? So let's go ahead and let's erase that. Like I said, bear with me because I'm trying to get the hang of this. I think you guys are going to like it better because we can see better, right? That's not a very good straight line, but you guys get the idea. It's supposed to be a straight line, right? So we're at 0, 1, we're at negative 1, 5, and we're at 2, negative 7. Yep, so that's my straight line. I always am going to write the equation of my line on there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to write that. It is my original, okay, so that was y plus 4x equals 1, okay? And there you have your graph. Again, assuming that was a straight line. I apologize for how messy that looks right there. Okay, what other questions do they ask us? What is the range of this function? Well, it's a straight line, right? It's a linear function. We knew our domain was negative infinity to infinity. And if you look at the y values up and down, it's also a range. Negative infinity to infinity. Okay, make sure you put those, we're doing interval notation, so make sure that you put those parentheses. And then what does the line mean? I hope you guys remember from last year that the line is all possible solutions solutions to the given equation, to the given equation, okay? And that's how you do that problem. Let's go ahead and let's move right along, and we are now going to go to page 49, okay? So let's go ahead and move down. Oh, I don't know how that happened, but we'll just keep moving on. Okay, page 49. We have 3x plus 2y equals 18. Okay, and I hope that you recognize that this equation is in standard form. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. This equation is in standard form. It is often easier to use the x and y intercepts when an equation is in standard form, okay? It is so much easier than trying to convert that into slope-intercept. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. I always start with my y-intercept. Your y-intercept is when x is 0. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my x 0, and I'm going to write my equation in, and that was what? 3x plus 2y equals 18. Okay, we just plug 0 in for x. Got 3 times 0 plus 2y equals 18. 2y equals 18. Divide by 2, y equals 9. So my y-intercept, and I want you to label it as such, is 0, 9. Okay? And then if we move right along, I want to know what my x-intercept is. And we can't pick an x value yet because we don't know what the x-intercept is. So how I do this kind of problem is I actually backfill. And what I mean by that is I am going to go and I'm going to fill 0 in for y, okay? Because I want my x-intercept. And my x-intercept is when y is 0. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 3x and fill 0 in for y. And that is going to give me what my x value is. Okay, and x equals 6. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in because I didn't know what it was yet. And it's 6. So my x-intercept is 6, 0. And now I pick one more point. And I tend to try to pick a point in between the two. So I'm going to pick, it does not matter, I'm going to pick the value 2. You could pick 3 or 4 or something different, okay? When I put in 2, now I'd set ascending order. So we got a lot of arrows going on here. But that should go there, right? 0, 2, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug it in. 3 times 2 plus 2y equals 18. That's 6 plus 2y equals 18. Okay, I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. 2y equals 12. Divide by 2. I get y equals, did I do that wrong? Let's see. 2y equals 6. Nope, I did it right. 2, 6. Okay, so there are my 3 points that I'm going to graph on my graph here. So we're going to go over, and we're going to put this over here, and we are going to, let's see what I got here. Can't get my thing to stay straight. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to graph this. Again, like I said, we always put our x and y axis on first. So I'm going to go to right about here. And we're going to put in our y-axis. I can't speak. We're going to put in our x, go about in the middle. Okay, there's the x-axis and the y-axis. Don't forget to put your arrows on both sides, okay, to show that it keeps going. And we're going to label those. Here's my x, here's my y, okay? Let's see, I have 0, 9, 6, 0, 2, 6. I should be able to go up and over by ones, okay? And now I just plot my points. I have 0, 9. let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm right here. Okay, I have 6, 0. I'm over here. 1 on my x-intercept. Okay, and then what was my last point? 2, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've got my points all set up. I'm going to connect them. We're going to insert our line. Let's see how well Mrs. Quintos did this. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, I'm going to just make sure that you guys always extend that line. I didn't do that because of my drawing feature, but the last step then is going to be to write in the equation. And we had 3x plus 2y equals 18, okay? And there you have it. Okay, let's, we're just have a couple more pages to go. I know this video is a little bit longer. That's because I'm getting used to my iPad still. So let's go ahead and let's go on to page 50, okay? Okay, we're on 50. We've got a couple of them here. Now, why I picked this one, it's super important. It's because when we graph it, it says complete a table of values. Yeah, we can do that in graph when the domain is -6 to infinity. That means that I can pick values for x that are -6 and increasing, okay? But I'm not going to go below -6 because I have a restricted domain, okay? So if you want to remember that term, okay, I call it a restricted domain, okay? Just right here, okay? So go ahead and you're going to make your table of values. I've got an x, okay? I'm going to write my equation, which is 4x minus 6y equals 24. And then I'm going to have my ordered pair. Okay, we can draw a line there. And now, guys, it's just as easy as picking values, okay? Since I'm starting at -6, that's where my leftmost point will be. I always start with that. Okay, I always start with -6, and then I can go on up. So we're going to do 4 times -6 minus 6y equals 24. -24 minus 6y equals 24. I'm going to add 24 to both sides. I get -6y equals 48. Divide by -6. I get y equals a -8. So my first point is -6, -8. Okay? Oh, I'm running out of room here. Okay, let's go up. See what we can do here. Make it a little bit bigger even. Yeah, that'll be nice. Okay. I'm going to pick another point. And so -6 and up, let's just kind of do nice increments. Let's pick 0, okay? When I pick 0, that's going to give me my y-intercept, okay? I have 4 times 0 plus 6y. Make that a minus. That's a minus 6y equals 24. That cancels. I divide by -6. I get y equals -4. Okay, so I have a 0, -4. And I hope you remember that I always said when we are in standard form, which we are here, 4x minus 6y equals 24, I want you to find my x and y intercepts. Now I started with -6 because that's going to be my restricted domain where it starts. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find, let's see, my x-intercept, okay? So my x-intercept. We know that that's going to be a number, comma, 0. So I'm going to plug 0 in for y. We've got 4x minus 6 times 0 equals 24. 4x equals 24, divide by 4, and you should get x equals 6. Okay, that goes there. And I'm in a nice order, so that's perfect. Now I can go ahead and I can graph, and I think it's really important that you see what this looks like. Okay, so bear with me. We're going to go over here, and we're going to draw in our x-axis and y-axis. Okay. There's my y-axis. Let's see, where's the center of this guy? We'll say here. It's pretty close. Okay, Make sure you don't forget to put your arrows on the ends, okay, to indicate that it keeps going. There's my X, there's my Y. I'm gonna have a scale of 1 to 1, okay? Now, let's plot our points, and I want you to show you the interesting thing here. We were at, what, -6, -8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm here, okay? I am at 0, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. And I am at 6, 0. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now this is where it's tricky. Because I had that restricted domain and I only want to go from -6 up, I'm going to start here. I'm going to put my line. And I'm only going to have an arrow on one side. Okay, just right here. Because I started here, I had a restricted domain, so I'm going to start in this spot. Okay, and then I go on up. And I hope you see how that's restricted. Okay, so because of that, when I go down and ask what is the range of this function, well, the range is my y values. You're going to do a range. I say range of f, the function, equals. We start where I circled it here, okay? And that is a value of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's -8. And remember, we include -8, so we're going to use a bracket to show that it includes that endpoint. And then it goes on through infinity. So we're going to put the infinity symbol. We're going to use a parenthesis because there's always one more. Okay, and that is your range. Let's see what else I want to do here. Let's do 2 more problems, okay? I'm just going to warn you, I'm sitting at my house doing this video right now, and I have my sons who are going to walk in the door soon, and if they're loud, I apologize. I will tell them to be quiet as soon as they walk in. Okay, we have x plus 3y equals 9, and we're going to solve for y. I say 2 in this case, so we're not going to leave it in standard form. We're actually going to convert it. We've got, you know what? I'm not going to. Let's cross that out. I think we're going to go ahead and leave it in standard form. I kind of like that, okay? Because we're, like I said, when we're in standard, it's much easier to find your x and y intercepts. Okay, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put our equation in. X plus 3y equals 9. Okay, and then we have my x and y coordinates. Okay, so here we again have a restricted domain. And it's restricted on both sides, right? 0 to 6. So I always want, when I have a restriction on both sides, I'm going to make 0 my first point, and I'm going to make 6 my last point. So we've got 0 plus 3y equals 9. I hope you see right away that that's y equals 3. So 0, 3 is my y-intercept. Okay? I'm going to pick, we're going to go to 6, so let's pick the 3. It's nice intervals, right? That's going to be, let's see, 3 plus 3y equals 9. Subtract 3, you get 3y equals 6, right? And y equals 2. So I've got 3, 2. And now you always want to end, and you always want to pick your starting point and your ending point. We've got a 6 here. Okay, so I'm going to fill in my 6, and we're going to go up. Let's see what we got. Oopsie. I don't know where that came from. We're going to put our 6 in, so we've got 6 plus 3y. 6 plus 3y equals 9. Subtract 6. Get 3y equals 3, and y equals 1. So we have 6, 1. And I just want you to see what this looks like, okay? We're actually not going to have arrows on either ends because we have a very small little section of our graph. Okay, so when I do this, you're going to come over here. See if I can get this a little bigger there. We're going to go ahead and we are going to draw in, like I keep telling you, our x and our y axis. Okay, we're going to be about here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we are going to put in our arrows. Okay, we've got our X, we've got our Y. I'm going to have a scale of 1 to 1. Okay, 0, 3 is my leftmost point. That's going to be right here. There's 0, 3. We've got a 3, 2. There's my next point. And then we have a 6, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay, now as you saw, we had a restricted domain. It went from 0 to 6. That means my leftmost point is 0 on the x-axis, or for my x value. My rightmost x value is 6. I could have picked any point in between, but nothing passed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect these. Okay. And we are not going to have an arrow on either side. That is what my line looks like because of that restricted domain. Okay. If you go ahead and we look below, it says, what is the range of this function? Well, that's my y values. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do range of f equals, let's see, we include both endpoints. I'm going to have brackets. My y value is, let's see, what is it, 3. My y value here is 1. We have a 1 and we have a 3. Your instinct is going to tell you to put 3, 1, but we go in ascending order. So it's from 1 to 3 because my lowest point is 1. My highest value is 3. Okay? So that's my range. And I promise we are in the home stretch. We have just a couple minutes left. I want you to flip to page 51. Okay? And the only thing I'm going to tell you about this one is that 4y equals 48. I want you to actually divide that by 4. Okay? And we are going to divide by 4. We're going to divide by 4 to get that y by itself. Y equals 12. And I hope you can remember, oh, what does it say here? Complete the table of values and graph the function. We do not have a restricted domain, okay? And I hope you remember your Hoy and Vux lines. No matter what your x value is, your y is always 12. So we got y equals 12, your x and y. So you can pick anything you want, 0, 2, 4. There's no restricted domain. X can be anything. Okay, and like I said, no matter what your x is, your y is going to be 12. So we've got 0, 12, 2, 12, 4, 12, etc. You could pick a negative 100 and your y value is still 12. So when we go over and graph this, okay, we are going to, let's just do a little line here. There's my x. We're going to do a we'll say right about here. Okay. Connect that there. I didn't go quite all the way, but that's okay. You guys get the idea. Okay, there's my y. We're going to go up. I hope you know that's a Hoy line, so it's going to be a horizontal line, y equals. We're going to go up to 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. And there is my horizontal line. And we'll write the original 4y equals 48. And there you have it, okay? Oh, you want the domain and range probably, right? This domain, okay, is going to be, we'll do domain of f. Domain, it's a horizontal line left to right, so it's going to be negative infinity to infinity. Your range is what gets tricky when you have these horizontal lines. Okay, range of f. I hope you recognize that it's just one spot, right? It's one point. No matter what your x is, your y is always, always, always 12. So you're going to use brackets. You're just going to have one number for the range, okay? That is it. That's plenty. That was long. And let me know if you have any questions.